Okay, this is a brief video of how to add a pivot table to some data. So if you go up into Insert and you say Pivot Table, it's going to register my range. Sometimes you have to pick it, but in this case it registers it's there. I'm going to put it into a new worksheet and then say OK. Then when you come over here to the pivot table fields, I have my different choices and say I want to do it by the asset ID type, and I want that to be in my rows. So you can see, okay, here I have buildings, furniture and fixtures, improvements. I'm not sure what the ME stands for, but so we have all of those. Then if I go down, say I want to put my cost in the values. So then now you can see it's a sum of my costs. And then once you have it over in the pivot table, you can come over and format it to make it like in dollars and cents, or any way that you would like to see it look better than that. Again, now if you click back on the table, you could open it up. Say I don't want to have it sum it. I can go into my value field settings and say, what if I want it to average? It'll give me the average cost per type. Then what if I said, okay, what if I want it to count it? I want to know how many there are in each one of those types. Then I can do the count. So you can play around with kind of whatever you want it to do. Now let me go back. Let's go back and say, go to our sum. Okay, so then there I've summed it. Now then if I would want to insert, insert a pie chart. Let's see what that does for me. Then it's going to create a pie chart based on what I have there. So obviously the buildings are the whole total. Now let's see if I go back in here and say, okay, well, what if I want to go back to that average cost? Does that, it doesn't do much to my pie chart. What about if I go back and I say, okay, what if I want it to be my count? Let's see what that one does. So that one like changes my pie chart a little bit. So then you can kind of see the value of the buildings is so much greater that it kind of made that pie chart look, not the greatest. But so then this gives you, again, more of like how many do I own kind of a pie chart. So then you can play around with all of those kind of things anytime once you create that pivot table. Again, you can adjust it over here and then create whatever type of chart you need from that pivot table. And then like worst case, to say you play around and you think, hey, none of this is working, just go in, delete that tab, and then start right over. Do you know what I mean? So that you can never hurt it because you're really not messing with the original data. You're just kind of adding on to it. So get comfortable with pivot tables and creating those charts, and just play around with Excel so that you feel comfortable with the, the different tools you can use.